World's Strongest Man announcing events months in advance, Lizzie.
Shocked to my core.
I am very impressed. World's Strongest Man have announced already the first 7 events for the 2023 World's Strongest Man competition. Now, they have stated they are not saying whether these are final or heat events, but they've put out 7 events, so the athletes now know what they need to start training for.
Yeah, and it's all in the same day as well. So athletes received an email this morning. So when I say athletes, it's not a confirmed list of athletes. It is quite a few. Everyone who's in consideration, basically, for the World's Strongest Man has been emailed with these events, and they've posted it straight away as well. So
World's Strongest Man evolving. We're seeing
getting organised. That's really rude, but this is so
listening as well, and you know, understanding that if we want to see the best performances from the athletes, then of course they need to know the events as early as possible. And us as fans, we want to know what we're looking forward to watching. We want to know what we should be getting excited for. We want to know why athletes are training certain events.
Of course.
It's showing that kind of
it stops the
clarity and stops speculation. So Auntie Liz, with that being said, let us know what the first event is.
Okay, so first off, just to let people know, the reason we don't have all events yet is because all events haven't been decided yet. Manufacturers are working with sponsors to put together equipment, basically. So look forward. These are more of the things that you expect to see at World's Strongest Man.
Let's see if there's anything that shocks me in this line.
Okay, let's see. So
I actually haven't seen the list yet. I'm quite excited.
First event then is a loading race.
Shock. Okay, loading race at World's Strongest Man. As a strongman that's been to Worlds a number of times, and if I was kind of thinking about going to Worlds again, you know, you'd be making sure you're training a loading. You'd be making sure you're training for some kind of vehicle pull. You'll be making sure you're training your overhead, deadlift or squat.
All right, don't ruin my list. Don't ruin my list.
There we go. I'll shut up now. Let's see if there's anything in there that is a little different.
Damn. Right, okay, something a little different. Fingals Fingers.
Okay, that's interesting, and it's an event that takes a lot of specific type of training, so you know, quite a unique event. It's been a cool one to watch in the past. I'm sure a lot of the athletes will be looking forward to it. It's a tough event, and it's an event that the more time you have to train on, definitely advantageous. So great to hear they're announcing that nice and early.
Okay, next again, no surprise, a vehicle pool of some sorts.
Expected at World's Strongest Man. You always see some kind of truck or plane or vehicle type push event, so no surprise there, but athletes need to be training that type of event. It's an event that you can't just get good at in the gym. You need the actual specific training on it.
The next one is pretty vague and totally expected. Some form of deadlift. Could be for reps, could be for max, could be both. Don't know about the equipment.
Well, as a strong man, you should be training your deadlift.
I'm sure they're all training deadlift anyway. Next is a log ladder. So we saw this in the final in 2020.
Yeah, and the one thing, you know, if I am training myself or coaching people when it comes to something like a log ladder, is transition and speed is important. It's not just about who can lift the most. Often, you know, athletes will be looking to do things quicker. So practicing that transition between each and understanding, you know, how to move, it's important. It's not about just, you know, you could be the strongest log lifter in the world, but if you're slow and cumbersome, you're not going to win against the fast, more dynamic athletes. You need to be working on that speed. With an event like that, you might be, if you're a really strong presser, you might look at Viper pressing the first 2 or 3. So that's good to know, and you can adapt your training to be as well prepared as possible.
The Conan's Circle is coming back.
Okay, interesting.
The Conan's Circle to watch. Obviously, it's not always the most fun.
Actually, right now, I'd probably be better at it. It's one of those events I was always better when I was a bit fitter. When I got bigger, I did not like it at all.
No.
And again, good to practice, whether you're kind of doing Zercher carries, whether you've got a Conan circle to train on, whether you just kind of use a sandbag. It's an event you can practice getting used to carrying that type of weight. The nice thing with the Conans is once you lift it up, you don't need to look where you're going. It'll guide you.
You don't have to worry about turning around or anything like that.
But it's one of those events that is horrible. Athletes pass out. It's a tough one to train. So, good luck training for that, boys.
Then we have a toss for time.
Toss for time.
As opposed to max height or max weight. Toss for time.
I'm guessing
a
like
sandbag
6 to 8
kegs.
implements
Yes.
as quick as possible.
That's it. So
Some kind of
toss for
throw.
time.
I'm sure the athletes will want to find out what the implement is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we will fairly soon.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure.
get practicing those transitions again. Throwing for height is very different for throwing for speed. So
Practice your tossing.
Yeah, get tossing. So
That's it.
that's the events that have been announced so far. I will be absolutely shocked to my core if there's no Atlas stones.
Oh, there's going to be some sort of bloody stones. There's going to be stones everywhere.
But so seven events
Yeah.
announced so far. Let us know what you guys think of those 7 events. I mean,
Nothing like very out there at this point, is there? But
and we don't know whether these are going to be final events
No.
or heat events. I would guess.
I think the loading will be in the heats. I think the Fingals. I wonder if they're going to do it the same as this year and have all the heats do the same events. I enjoyed that personally.
Yeah, who knows? I think something like the toss for time is more of a heat event.
Yeah.
Deadlift could be in both.
Yeah, probably
Log ladder
will be in
could
both.
potentially be both.
Yeah.
So really hard to guess right now.
It
You
is
just
hard
need to
to
make
guess.
sure you're ready for these events. But
And practice your stones.
yeah, let us know your thoughts on those events. What are you guys looking forward to? If you were an athlete competing, how far in advance would you want to know the events? Do you prefer it when no one knows the events and they just got to turn up and get on with it?
Not for something like Worlds. I think they need to know for Worlds. We want to see athletes
think
performing at their absolute
If you want to
best.
see the athletes at their best and as safe as possible,
They need the-
injury prevention. Understanding the events is important. That's one reason in the past I've got angry about stuff at Worlds, is when they're putting these ridiculously heavy events
And
in
you didn't
and didn't know to prepare for it.
Absolutely.
If the athletes have time to prepare properly, then it's much easier to keep yourself safe
And to
and
go
prepare
heavier.
yourself for that type of event. So
Yeah.
really glad to see Worlds putting the events out. Hopefully we'll find out weights. Hopefully we'll find out all the information as soon as possible.
What would you add to this list? Like, we've got 7 so far. What do you want to see?
What do I want to see, or what would I think
want
will
to
be
see
added?
as a person watching?
I like so many events, so it's hard to like. I like what Rogue did this year, where they took standard events and just made them look cool, made them
Yeah,
look different. So I'm not too fussed. In terms of strongman, I really liked the Flintstone lift last year. I liked it years ago when they did the Flintstone as a deadlift. I love the
Yeah.
car walk. I'd love to see a car flip.
Yeah,
that's a cool.
They're on the beach as well, so we have to think they're somewhat limited. So if you think about the
things
events
like
that they're doing, it
moving
does.
events are much harder on the beach, so you kind of
Exactly.
a loading is doable, but you're not going to do
Oh,
a car
your
walk
legs are gonna
or
be
a
drained
farmer's walk on
No.
the beach. On the beach, it's tough. I'd like to see like an axle for max. I think we see a lot of log for maxes. I wouldn't mind seeing an axle for max. I've mentioned it many times, a backlift, but
Oh, God.
whether that happens or not. Do you remember? I think it was in the 80s.
With the
last.
boats.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that visually
It's not but
appealing
if you're
personally.
gonna
It's
lift-
like the smallest range of motion.
I think just occasionally to maybe throw a spanner in the works and not have a squat or deadlift.
Yeah, I
throw in a
guess.
backlift.
Yeah,
It's
or
just-
that hip lift. Do you remember that rocket
Yeah,
that they
the
used? I
hip
think it was
lift.
2013
or even
Australia.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a Viking press, but for bench press. So the guys are benching some kind of vehicle,
Machine.
yeah,
Oh,
like a leg
okay,
day. So rather than just
okay.
like a barbell, but like an actual, the squat machine that they use in the
Yeah,
deadlift,
yeah.
you use it for bench.
Oh,
That would be-
I
that would be
don't
cool.
know. Yeah, I guess.
Could you agree with me or
I
Auntie
don't
Liz?
know.
And I know Auntie Liz wants to see the coal shoveling and the weird
Murder
stuff.
Ball was on the beach.
Murder Ball should never, ever, ever, ever
I'm
come back to
obviously
Strongman.
joking, but still, just throwing it out there.
But yeah, there's loads of events out there, and if you guys have good ideas for events, comment below. Let us know.
We'll pass it on.
Yeah, it's good to see new events coming through. The Fingals Fingers will be good to see again.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know your favourite events, what you're looking forward to seeing, and what you would like to see. That's it from us today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.